Well, for more on this, we have France 24's Shirley Sitbin in the house. Shirley, these hearings that we've been indulging today, how do we expect Israel to respond to what South Africa has had to say?
Well, they're going to try to discredit South Africa, for example, saying its position is just hypocrisy because it does not take into account Hamas's role in the situation in the Gaza Strip. Not only the initial attack, but also the fact it wants to destroy Israel. It has been firing rockets at Israel. It still has Israeli hostages. The Israelis say it's also blocking Palestinians from getting aid, from getting fuel. That's what the Israelis are saying today. They're saying basically that South Africa is the judiciary branch of Hamas. We've just heard it a while ago from the Israeli ministry. And they're also saying that in the past, South Africa has refused to arrest someone who was being charged with genocide, which is Omar al-Bashir. So that's what the Israelis are saying. But they have to respond to the accusations because what South Africa is saying is that so many people have been killed in Gaza. They're also saying that the sites that have been attacked, schools, hospitals, are extremely important. And also the declarations made by Israeli officials, MPs, and also people who are ministers, some of them even calling to use a nuclear weapon or to set the Gaza Strip on fire. So it's going to be very tricky to explain how people can say that because it's a global thing. Well, regarding the fact that, for example, the Palestinians have been displaced, the Israelis will say, well, they've been displaced to kill less innocent Palestinians. That's why they've been moved south. They'll also say that if hospitals and mosques and schools have been targeted, it's because Hamas is using them. They're also maybe going to say that, well, the people who made those terrible declarations are they're officials, but they're not the ones really in charge. They're not in the real war cabinet. They're just in the other general, government, which is there basically to keep Netanyahu in power, if we can understand in between the lines. But they're going to say that that's going to be extremely difficult to explain.
But now, obviously, this is focusing on the genocide case. People say, and experts say, that this could take years to resolve on genocide. But there have to be some short-term goals, surely, from the South African delegation.
Yes, and that's what they've asked for. The short-term goal is to stop the bombing, to stop the Israeli operations in Gaza, to have no more deaths, to bring in more aid, as much aid as needed in the Gaza Strip, and also to allow Palestinians to go back to their homes, although many have been destroyed. And this is something that the court can do, because you've said so. The actual charges of genocide is going to take many years, but the court can take measures now within a few weeks. That's what the South Africans are hoping for. It's binding, we've said it, but they've no real way of enforcing this. They can put pressure on Israel. They can, tarnish its image even more and isolate it. And also this may press its allies, stop sending weapons. Basically, the idea is to weaken Israel and to push it to stop its operations.
But now, for the first time, Israelis will be seeing these images on their TV screens. Is this a moment for self-reflection? I mean, what really can change here?
Yes, because until now, the Israelis have been focusing on their victims, on their hostages, on the people killed on October 7th, on the soldiers being killed, on the operations in Gaza, but not on their consequences for the people. Very few. You had to read certain newspapers, but usually mainstream television, they did not show the funerals, the crying parents, the crying children. They did not show of the people who lost everything. So that's something that was seen today, and they heard what was said in The Hague, and you can hear the journalist on television saying, oh, that's extremely difficult to hear and to watch. Well, yes, that's something that many Israelis could have turned to international news stations and watched, but many just didn't because it was easier, I guess, to just focus on the rest. And of course, they were very shocked from what happened there and felt they were defending themselves. And seeing what's happening in Gaza is extremely difficult.
It will be very interesting to see that outcome.
And maybe just one more word, if I may.
Sure.
Some people are saying that the best way to defend Israel, some political officials from the other side, not from Netanyahu's side, saying you need to offer a prospect to commit to a solution with the Palestinians. That's the only way to show that we're not against them.
It will be interesting as well, the reaction to Netanyahu. Shirley Sitbin, thank you so much.